Well, after a nationwide uproar, a video game called Active Shooter that simulated a school shooting has now been removed from the software developer Valve Corporation's website, confirming that they have in fact removed it. Here now to weigh in on that is founder of AmericansForClass.org and father of Meadow Pollack, who was tragically killed in the Parkland school shooting, Andrew Pollack. Andrew, thank you so much for joining us. We've been back and forth messaging. I've been trying to get you on for a while. I appreciate you taking the time.
Good morning, Heather.
Yeah, so
anytime.
So you've been very involved across the country right now with a plan to hopefully stop these school shootings. Let's get to that in a moment. But first of all, your thoughts on this this active school shooter game. And as you discuss it, we can put up the actual quote from the corporation that has removed it. But does it make any sense to you that this was developed to begin with?
No, it's just distasteful, you know, on the manufacturer of this the game to develop a game like that. It just doesn't make sense to me to show kids. You know, it's like encouraging going into a school and shooting up a school. It's kind of crazy, right?
Yeah, I mean, it really is, considering if you look at the statistics, and 39 students have been killed or injured in school shootings, and that's just in 2018. But you have a plan. You call it the Americans for Class. It's an 8-point plan. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, I developed it because I'm tired of the talk with the politicians. Well, you know how many roundtables I've been to, Heather, where they want to talk about things and discuss it, but not much action was taking place. So I put this 8-point plan in place for parents to look at it and see what they could do to better protect their children when they're in school.
Yeah.
So it's a simple plan, and even if you followed a few of the points that I point out, our kids would be safer. Like just a perimeter. We need a perimeter at the school. We need single point of entries, and we need metal detectors at the school.
Yeah.
Those are some of the things that we could do right now to protect our children and teachers. Because even now at the schools in Florida, right around where my daughter was murdered, the school, any kid could just walk into a school with a weapon. Even
now? I mean, is there any sort of plan in place to change that?
Yes, we did get a bill passed in Florida like 3 weeks after my daughter was murdered. That would help, but it wasn't specified for metal detectors. So in that bill, there's money for hardening, there's money for mental illness, the police will have more authority to confiscate weapons. But without the metal detectors, our kids and teachers really aren't protected, because any kid could walk into a school.
Yeah.
Like I say, a judge, there's no shot that a judge is going to go to work in a courtroom if there was no metal detectors. Nobody is going to go on a plane in this day and age without going through a metal detector. You're not going to take potluck and let everyone walk on the plane. So, you know, it kind of bothers me that our children, even after getting shot up in the last few months, you know, like almost 30 kids have been shot in the last couple of months.
Yeah.
The schools are still not safe for our kids, Heather, and the teachers.
Now,
anyone could just walk in.
You went down to Texas, right?
Yes, that was heartbreaking. I felt a need to go to Texas to console the parents, and I did. I went and I met them, and it's no one could understand the grief that comes with losing a child, except for someone that it happened to. So I felt that I would go, and if I could meet 1, 2 families, I'd be able to help them out. And I was able to go to Santa Fe and meet with one of the parents' victims. And I stayed with them a couple of days, you know, just talking with them, trying to console them.
Yeah. Andrew, I mean, how do you handle it? Also, your son, I know that, you know, he had all of these wonderful things to say about Meadow. How are you doing right now?
It's brutal. Like, if anyone could say it gets better with time, Heather, it definitely does not get better with time. I have my moments every day from the day that they took my daughter from me, and it's brutal. Pictures, just thinking about her, why it happened to me, why it happened to my kids. I just still, to this day, I don't understand it, but I don't stop. That's one of the things that keeps me going. I have a bunch of projects that I'm working on around the clock.
Right. Well, I'm sure Meta would be very proud of what you and your son are doing, trying to put words to action, because that is what we need to do. Andrew, thank you once again for joining us. We appreciate it.
Anytime, Heather. Have a nice day.